Okay, so we're recording and we are here on Queen's Drip group Facebook. And I've got beautiful Kelly here on the call. And she came to show up to just investigate and ground and talk a little bit more about her current space and journey and also some reflection. So, Kelly, do you want to share what you were just kind of saying about you've been reflecting and what's been showing up for you?
Yeah. Yeah. So a big theme that I see coming up often and really speaks to me is about grounding and about receiving and just being like connected and like in the moment. And it's just been a really big, theme right now. And yeah, I see a lot of that coming up.
I'm so curious, where do you feel like it shows up most often for you?
Mm, I'm not sure. I think just like within family and within like pleasure areas and money situations and like self-improvement or working on self and expanding.
Of course. So, like, just to kind of reflect back to you what you're saying here, right? Is that when you're investigating and exploring groundedness and receiving and being in the moment, times where this is either challenged or it's requested to go deeper are times when it's around family, pleasure, money, and expanding on self. Yeah, so it's really interesting because our most intimate circumstances and relationships are where we get the most triggered and challenged, right?
Yeah,
And
definitely.
and one of those intimate relationships is money, for sure.
Mhm.
And we talked a bit about this too, but in Queen's Drip, it's really interesting because it's a 5-month process where we work on building a regulated nervous system and building this connectedness and groundedness and the safety in the body. So by the 5th month, we can receive the money, we can allow the money to come into us, and we can feel this intimate relationship with money as our lover, money as our ally, and we can receive it. This part that you're talking about is of receiving it with ease because we take the time to build it all up. I also want to just reflect on this receiving thing because this has been showing up a lot, and the conditioning that goes back so far in our lineage that we are not allowed to receive, or it's not safe to receive, or if we receive something, we owe something. Can you talk to me a
Or
little?
we can only receive this much, we can't receive it all, or if we receive too much, like that's all you can get, or like if you receive that, then that means that you can't have any more at all, you know what I mean, or you're complacent or whatever. So that was a big thing for me too.
Do you have like a specific example you'd like to share?
Yeah, one that came up earlier was like just being in the moment and receiving the moment, and like being fully in pleasure in that moment, or even if feelings are coming up or what have you. But like where my brain wanted to go was, if you enjoy being in pleasure, or you enjoy being in the moment like too much, then that means that you may get complacent, or you're not gonna move forward, you're not gonna get any more. But it's just, I feel like we're conditioned to think that like we can't ever be where we're at right now in pleasure, because that means that's all we get, I guess, with the lack of a better way to say it.
So if I enjoy this all now, it will end.
Yeah, or you can't move forward, or this is like, you know, no other opportunities are going to come, or, you know, you're just going to be in that place and you're not going to want to move forward, or, you know, nothing, I can't be. Yeah, there's not really a better way to explain it right now, but yeah, exactly.
I want to just try to investigate this a little with you. Is this the same energy that, like, if you have a really nice lotion, you have to use it sparingly? Or like if someone gives you like a really expensive bottle of wine, you have to save it for a good or a special occasion or something? Is this along that same energy that, like, I have to like only use a little bit of the pleasure and the receiving energy at a time, because if I use it too much or up, it's gone?
Yeah, I would say that's a good way to explain it too. Yeah, or like, for example, I got an example, like I was like just really wanting to rest the other day, and I was thinking to myself like, oh, this feels so good laying here in the blanket. And then my brain comes with, well, don't make it too pleasurable, because then you're going to want to stay here and you're not going to want to do anything else. And, you know, like there was like no duality of like, you can absolutely enjoy where you're at right now, and you can experience more of that. You know, it doesn't have to just be, don't experience it too much because you're going to get stuck there. You know what I mean?
Of course, right? Like, what if it feels so good that you never want to leave it, right?
Mm-hmm. And
And
get like complacent.
or let's just like offer a perspective shift here, right? That you have full permission to lean into the rest for as long as you need, knowing and trusting that when the time is right, that you will do the things that need to get done, that the things always end up getting eventually done.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's like a condition process. Like somewhere along the lines, it wasn't okay to be okay with not doing something or just experiencing the moment.
Well, so often we attach our worth to our productivity.
Right.
So if I'm just cozying this blanket, what is my worth attached to?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah, and just being conscious of that, like it doesn't have to do with worth. It has to do with like self-care and love and all of that. And I think that stems from just allowing and giving yourself permission to know that you're worthy enough to experience something like that, even if it's like the smallest moment of like a comfy blanket.
Mm. I'm curious, Kelly, how do you think that you could allow yourself to receive just a little bit more over the next couple days?
And that stems into the grounding, I think, is a big thing as well. Just connecting back to breath and body and just whatever is coming up in that moment, like whatever, just breath and grounding and opening up the senses and feeling and all of that.
Mm. And tell me a little bit more about how you plan to allow yourself to be in the moment with family over the next couple days.
Just fully enjoy, like being immersed in that moment you know, like not try to be distracted and just fully involve in whatever is happening. Like if it's with my daughter or my son, we're in that moment, we're experiencing, we're laughing, you know, just trying to like cultivate like a safe space to be able to just teach them also that we can be in this moment too, you know.
Mm, so beautiful. What's really showing up for me as you say this is like, it gets to be this good.
Yes. And you can have more. Like there's, you know, you don't have to just limit yourself. Like it's like all new beginning for me. So I don't have all of like the deepest like conversations to go, but like I can see it and I see that it's there. And like this whole world is opening up to something that I wasn't necessarily taught. Like it's a knowing, but it's not something that I was necessarily taught to go into. So all of it is welcomed.
Mm. And and that's just part of the process, right? The completely shifting your whole universe to see things differently and choose a new way of participating in your life and in your family and your groundedness and your ability to receive. Um, I think the best tool that I could provide you with that would be super easy and accessible at any time is the beat and the breath. So whenever we're feeling disconnected or not grounded or not present, like just be like, okay, I'm taking a beat, I'm closing my eyes, and I'm taking one conscious inhale and exhale. Do you want to just try it right now?
Sure.
Okay, cool. So let's just close our eyes and just exhale naturally. And then we're going to inhale together. And choosing to be present. Inhaling and exhaling. And then just noticing how you feel at this very moment.
I always get like such like a pleasure feeling like when I connect back, like just like a happiness, you know, like this is the moment, this is where you're at, you know, and that's why I try to consciously do that more. And it's just like, yeah, it's very like releasing.
Love that. Yeah, I think a beat and a breath and like maybe even sharing this tool or like just having your children do it with you like over the next couple days of the New Year's chaos and all the things, or you could just teach them that you want to take a breath together and hold their hand while you do it, you know, and just kind of circulating that energy you just felt within you with them too. And see what you can all receive out of it.
Absolutely. Yes, I've been doing that with my daughter and she likes to do it in the shower. She's like, Mom, I want to meditate like in the shower. And I think she knows that I do it too. So maybe that's where she comes from. But she'll just sit there like in the water and just sit there like with her legs crossed. And it's like the cutest thing watching this little girl do that. And I'm like, it's natural for her, you know, like she's just like something that is just knowing closer than where it was. I had to teach myself to relearn that. She automatically gets it, you know.
Of course.
It's a beautiful.
Such purity there, right?
Mhm.
Mm, I love that so much. Um, and these are just such beautiful intentions for going into the new year and like themes for yourself, it feels like. Um, and you've already claimed a throne in Queen's Drip. Do you
I
want
did, yes. I knew that I wanted to do it. Yay!
celebrating Kelly? She claimed her throne. You and five other women so far, and I have about two or three that are like have already been DMing me, ready to join in. Um, Do you want to share anything about why Queen's Drip felt right for you, or what excited you to join, or anything? You don't have to, but if there's something you'd want to share with a queen that's considering.
It's just the whole energy, and like it kind of adds on to what I've already been doing. Like, of course, I want to learn more about receiving money and grounding into money and just grounding into life and working on myself and touching back into my body and embodiment and being seen more, like getting off on being seen more, like
Yes.
like being around more powerful women, and the like we're all going through the same things in different ways, like, and just having that community and sisterhood in a safe space with like other women that are on different paths but doing the same thing, like it just feels like a power move, and it feels like an intention, like a truth that I need to take. So yeah, definitely, like I'm excited.
A truth that I need to take. Like, I mean, I can't, yes. Like, I couldn't put it better. I couldn't receive that better. Like, that is just everything. A truth that I needed to take. And I'm really honoring you and witnessing you in your ability to listen to your truth
Mm-hmm.
and taking the big scary leap, even when it feels edgy.
Yes, yeah, that, but then also knowing that like you don't have to show up perfect either. Like my brain wants to be like, be perfect before you do something. Like I'm gonna be messy as shit and still show up, and then I'm just gonna build it from there. Like, and that's just like I'm willing to hold myself in that too. So
So freeing too.
it is still scary, but I'm willing to, yeah, definitely step
I'm
into that.
I'm so excited, Kelly. And like, it's been such a pleasure to connect with you. And um, I'm so thankful that you shared with these other potential queens about claiming their thrones and what truth step that could be toward for them, and how empowering it could be with, discovering sisterhood and empowerment and all the things that could bring them just this feeling of alignment. Is there anything else I could support you on today, or anything else you want to share?
Just I guess that yeah, it can feel scary to like take a leap and maybe like invest in yourself, maybe not think that you're worthy enough to like spend a certain amount of money on yourself, or but like the other end of that is like the up level and the power that you feel within yourself. Like I have truth tears because like honestly, like I'm never not going to invest in myself again, and it can be scary because you have all of these other obligations, but like once you decide that you are worth it, once you decide that like you get to experience this moment and you get to do it, like that's all that you need. Like the rest you will figure it out. So that's all else I had to say.
Thank you so much for sharing that. Yeah, yes, thank you. Really beautiful, Kelly.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Well, on that note, I'm going to end the recording because that was so beautiful.